Alright, these are the subplans for American History 1, my second block class for Mr. Beller. These subplans are for Tuesday, November 20th, 2018. We are on an early release schedule, so just make sure that you realize that you only have an hour, so you cannot waste too much time. A couple of things here that I want to get out of the way. Anybody that was doing the portfolio number 2 remediation assignments, please put them in the 2B crate before you leave. If they aren't there and I haven't received any sort of notification via remind that shows photographic evidence that you've completed these assignments, I will not accept them. The other key piece of information here is that the Unit 2 test is the day that we get back, so I believe that's November 27th. And portfolio number 3 is due the same day. So you are allowed to take home your portfolio notebooks if you need them to study and or complete any assignments. Remember, those assignments can be found for portfolio number 3. They can be found on my Canvas page in the pages portion, and I believe it's actually called portfolio number 3 submission assignment options. So you click on that and we'll have a breakdown of all the homework, minor grades, and major grades there. Alright, so today we're looking at the effects of the American Revolution. You should have completed the textbook page that detailed or concerned the key events and figures of the American Revolution. So now we're looking at the effects of the American Revolution. Before we really get into the bulk of it, looking at their fever model notes, we are now past the crisis stage and on to stage 4, which is the recovery stage. So the recovery stage, what should we expect? Well, we should expect that the American colonies have now won the rebellion. They've won the revolution, so they have accomplished one of their goals of becoming an independent nation. But just like when you're in the recovery stage of an illness, yes, you make it out of the crisis stage, but that doesn't mean that you're 100% in health. You're still a little bit weakened. So this new country, which will be known as the United States of America, yes, they have won their independence, but that doesn't mean that they are a strong, independent country. They still have a lot of weaknesses and problems that they're going to have to address in the years to come. The second thing that you see in the recovery stage is that you address the causes of the illness in the first place. And so in political terms, you should see and be able to anticipate the new country of this newly independent country address the causes of the American Revolution in the first place. So you might want to consider, and you will have to in your target diagram, consider what were the causes of the American Revolution, both short-term and long-term. And based off of those causes, what could we expect or what should we expect to see as far as changes go? Political changes, social changes, and economic changes. What should we expect to see? And then we should be able to compare that to what we actually see. Some key terms here that you should know and understand in the recovery stage and in the effects of the American Revolution. The Great Compromise, Three-Fifths Compromise, Electoral College, Shays Rebellion, Articles of Confederation, Land Ordinance of 1785, Northwest Ordinance of 1787. All those terms you should have identified in your target diagram. You should be able to understand the political, economic, and social effects of the American Revolution, and you should be able to complete the target diagram which using your blue textbook, and you should be able to answer the essential question in paragraph form using specific examples from the target diagram along with an explanation on how those examples support your argument. So the essential question here is evaluate the extent to which the American Revolution fulfilled its goals and purpose. This is a major grade and it's a 2-paragraph response. In the intro paragraph, you would discuss the goals of the American Revolution. These goals should be, you should be able to come up with what you feel like the goals of the American Revolution were based on the long-term and short-term causes. And then to the extent to which you think these goals were actually accomplished. In your second paragraph, I just want you to pick one category, political, economic, or social, and explain how these goals were or were not achieved. You want to use at least 2 specific examples from your target diagram and explain how they support your claim. So I've mentioned this target diagram a couple times here, so let's see what this is. So you're going to want to take your sheet of paper and you're going to want to create a target diagram that has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 rings to it. In the middle ring, you're just titling this, The Effects of the American Revolution. The second ring, you break it up into categories, economic effects, social effects, and political effects. In the third ring, you break it up into examples. So for, let's say, political effects of the American Revolution, the examples you're going to look at would be the Articles of Confederation and the Constitution. For economic effects, you would look at the positive economic and the negative economic effects. And for social effects of the American Revolution, you would discuss the expectations of what you would expect to see as far as social changes as a result of the revolution. And then you would discuss the reality of those social changes brought on by the American Revolution. In the fourth ring, that's when you look at including specific examples, including the details that align with each specific example. So for the Articles of Confederation, you look at the strengths and successes of the Articles of Confederation and the failures of the Articles of Confederation. For the Constitution, you would want to look at the compromises that were agreed upon during the Constitutional Convention and the basic framework of the United States Constitution. For positive economic effects, I have outlined those for you. Same thing for the negative economic effects. And then for social, you would want to look, once again, discuss the expectations that you would have. And then using the textbook, you would want to look at the social effects of the American Revolution concerning women, the institution of slavery, and Native Americans. This can be found on my Canvas page and on the board, but I've actually taken a picture where you can zoom in on each category. So you might want to take some time and look at that and maybe take some pre-notes. You might want to take some time before you get to class and actually draw out the target diagram. And that way when you get to class, you can actually get started right away. So you can see that I've taken a picture of each part of the target diagram. And for each part, you also see some page numbers here that will allow you to use those page numbers, and you can find out the information that you need for each term. All right. So that's what you got going on for the day. Once again, I would encourage you guys to go ahead and draw your target diagram before you get to class, and that way you can just fill it out using the textbook, the blue textbook that is. Making sure that you have dropped off any portfolio number 2 remediation assignments in the 2B bin, and then make sure that you have your ducks in a row for portfolio number 3 and the Unit 2 test. Remember that you are allowed to take home your portfolio notebooks if you need to use them to study and complete any outstanding assignments for portfolio number 3. As always, if you have any questions, please shoot me a reminder. All right, have a great break, and I'll see you on Tuesday.